Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word to a sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there, not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.
Hey, everybody. God bless you. Welcome again to the Crystal Jones Show. It's the show that's all about life's balance. It's good to see you all again. Thank you for tuning in. Always remember, you can watch my show every Sunday from 2:30 to 3:30 on channel 68 and 34 through Optimum, I believe it is. And also you can come to bronxnet.org and hit watch now, and you could click on channel 68 2134. Okay. Also, you can reach me, my Instagram page at The Crystal Jones Show, and also email me at thecrystaljonesshow@gmail.com. Also, you can catch all my episodes on YouTube and Facebook. If you go to the Crystal Jones TV show, you have to put it in as the Crystal Jones TV show, because remember, my name is pretty common. So if you put in just Crystal Jones Show, it's going to be a lot of people, coming up. But if you put in the Crystal Jones TV show for Facebook and for YouTube, you will find me there. Okay. And you can watch all of the other episodes that you missed. Also, share with people when you come on to the pages, share the episodes with others so that they can also enjoy as well. Okay. So today we have a wonderful show for you. Later on, we will be talking again from Exodus about the Levitical Priesthood, as we've been doing that now for a while. So we're going to start off the show with our missing youth. You know, I've been talking to you about this a lot. Okay. There's a lot going on with the youth, and it's not good. You know, the things that are against them. There's good with the youth. You know, I love the young people, but I'm talking about the things that are going on that's not so good for them. We have a lot of missing youth. All right. And you know, that leaves room for all kind of crazy things. One of the main things that a lot of our young people get caught up in is human trafficking. So we want to, when we know that they're missing, let's get on it. Let's find them quick and get them back home to their loved ones. Okay. So today we're going to start off with Christina Holton. Okay. Christina Holton. She was last seen at her home in South Beach on February 15th. Okay. So this is from Staten Island. The police are asking the public's help in locating her. She's, I believe, 12 years old. And she was last seen at her home on February 15th, about 12:05 a.m. She is described as being approximately 5 feet 4 inches tall. She weighs about 100 pounds. She has brown eyes, brown hair, according to the statement. Okay. I didn't add on the rest of her name. I didn't realize it's Christina Holton Kitts. All right. She was last seen wearing a black jacket, pink sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and a black and orange sneakers. All right. If you've seen her, please report this to the police. Okay. We have to find our youth before it's too late. All right. Okay. So I have a couple of young people today that are on the missing list. All right. Let's go to the other ones that I have here on the list. We have, I'm sorry, y'all, forgive me, but I'm trying to, missing persons. Let's see, is this the one? Okay, this is the one here. Okay, now we also have on the list for the missing young people, Daniela Rivas. She's been missing since January 5th of this year. Her name is Daniela Rivas. She's 16 years old. She's a Hispanic female. She has black hair and she has brown eyes. Okay, she's about 5'5", and her weight is 100. She's about 100 pounds. If you see her, please report this to the police. All right. The next one that we have on the missing list is Ramiro Perez Miranda. I'm sorry, he has another name too. I think they added it on. But Ramiro Perez, okay, he's been missing since February 23rd of this year from New Rochelle. All right. He's 16 years old as well, Hispanic male. He has black hair, brown color eyes. He's about 5'6", and he weighs about 140 pounds. He was last seen February 23rd, 2021. If you've seen him, please report this to the police. All right. The next one on my list, I have William Cummings. Okay. He's been missing since March 29th of this year, 2021. He's been missing from Elmira, New York. That's upstate New York. All right. He's 16 years old as well. Okay. He's a white male. He has light brown hair, blue eyes. He's 5'11", and he weighs 154 pounds. If you have seen him, please report all of this to the police so that these young people, if they were young, your people, you would want them to be found, right? If this was your daughter, your cousin, your aunt, whoever. All right. Okay. The next one we have Lashea, I believe. Lashea Wright. Okay. She's been missing since March 14th. All right. Since March 14th, she has been missing. All right. From Brooklyn, New York. She's 13 years old, black female. She has brown eyes and black hair. Her height is about 5'2", and she's about 110 pounds. Okay, so look at her face real good. All of these people, look at their faces real good. If you see them, if you see something like we say in New York, say something. Okay, so we're looking for her as well. Then also the last one that I have on the list of missing young people, I have Jariah Reeves. Okay. She's been missing since March 2nd, 2021. All right. She's from Elmira, New York as well. She's 14 years old. She's a biracial female. Her hair color is black. Her eye color is brown. She's about 5'7", and she weighs 120 pounds. Okay. Let's take this serious, New York. Let's find these missing children. Since I went on the missing and exploited children's listing and saw these children, I see they've added some more. So this is really getting out of hand. All right, let's get to business, New York. Let's find our young people, get them back home to their family and loved ones. Okay, because there's a lot of things going on. A lot of these young people wind up being sex trafficked. Today, I read in an article where they found a social worker who had drugs on her, and she's a social worker that works along with kids. So I'm not going to say her name, but she was found with drugs, a gun, and some other things that, what is she doing with that? And she handles kids every day. Okay, so sometimes you got some of these people that are in on those things to traffic these kids. All right, you got all these kids coming in over the border. All right, and their parents are not here. And even though they're being sent by their families, I understand that they're coming from some really dire situations in different countries. But it's not safe that, they're sending these kids and they're being pushed over the border and stuff like that. And they get here in the hands of these human traffickers. And this is what happens. You have people like this that they could work for the state and stuff like that and still be trafficking children. Just because they send the kids over the border doesn't mean they're safe. Sometimes they're worse off. Okay. So we need to listen. Those of you who know the worth of prayer, what is prayer worth to you? Pray for these people. Pray for these children. Pray for their families, because this world has gone roughshod crazy. It really has. Between all what's going on with this pandemic and all of this, this world is going nuts. Okay. And the sad that the children are so vulnerable. They don't really have anybody looking out for them. So if you see something, please say something. Tell somebody. If you know that kids are being trafficked in an apartment somewhere, if you see kids coming to school every day and they look horrible, they're scared and all that kind of stuff, report these things. Okay. There are different community homes and things like that will come in and intercede and help with having a place for the children to stay until things get where how they should be. Okay. Because some of these kids, sometimes they are missing from other countries and things like that because they ran away. But these are kids that I read to you that are here. As far as I know, they are American citizens, and they need to be found. All the kids, don't God loves the children. All right. And it's not for people to be doing them any kind of way. You will answer to the Most High someday for the horrible things that are done to these children. Shame on you if you're in on that. Stop it. Okay. These kids deserve to grow up right. Okay. So we're going to have, after that gloominess, we're going to have now spotlight on our youth. And we are going today to a special young man, okay, who is a vegan. He has a vegan cookbook. He's a vegan cookbook author at age 12. His name is Omari McQueen. And so we're going to honor him today for his work as a vegan cook. All right. I'm going to read you a little bit about Omari. He's a vegan cookbook author. This is his first cookbook, and it's called Best Bites, and it's now available. So go to Amazon and support him. He's 12 years old. He's a chef and a TV host, and he's a CEO, Omari McQueen. He has a mission to teach people that good food doesn't need animal products, right? The young chef's love affair with food began before he hit double digits. When he was 7, his mother began suffering from hemiplegic migraines, which would paralyze half of her body for up to a day. It was then that McQueen, the second eldest of 6 children, first learned to cook. It was when his mom was sick and his dad was going to work, so his father taught him and his older brother how to warm up food and a few of the basics. McQueen tells on a Zoom call, but I wanted to get more into it, so my dad taught me how to fry stuff, bake stuff, and chop fast. 1 year later, at age 8, McQueen went vegan. I was researching about what could make my mom better, and I saw veganism. So I clicked on it, and I didn't like the way that animals are treated for food and clothes. So I decided to become vegan and cook vegan meals for my mom, he says. The first vegan dish he made was barbecue jackfruit wrap, which remains a favorite of his today. McQueen's passion soon led him to start his YouTube channel, Omari Goes Wild. So go to his YouTube channel, see what he's doing. And in his first recipe video, which uploaded in July of 2017, he makes a vegan pizza. That same year, he founded Dipalicious, a vegan food brand that offers dips inspired by his Caribbean heritage. Hey, shout out to the Caribbeans. I know I'm Caribbean. My people's Caribbean too. All right. So, which also heavily influences all of his recipes. as well as this. He's a believer in the power of great tasting food. That thing that inspired his recipes is bringing people together with good food without harming animals, he said. The UK native has a passion for bringing people together through food without animals that shines through. Whether he's expounding the health benefits of plant-based food on YouTube or teaching other kids how to make vegan meals on his own cooking show, What's Cooking, Omari, which began airing on CBBC, a BBC channel for children, late last year. Vegan cooking is really delicious, McQueen says. The way I cook, I experiment with different flavors and different meals, and then it comes together with the right consistency. He sound like me. That's how I cook. However I think, that's how I cook. Or the right taste. It tastes delicious. The kitchen is for me. It's my science lab, so I experiment with different flavors and stuff to come up with. Vegan restaurant. He's a vegan restaurant owner. He became a vegan restaurant owner at 11. His dedication to his craft led him to become one of the world's youngest restaurateurs at age 11. This is a Black youth that's doing something, okay? So let's, young people, get encouraged. Y'all smart. Y'all some smart from every culture. But I'm, of course, emphasizing for my culture because we're so downplayed. But our children are just as smart as the other children are too. From every culture, all children, you're smart. Yeah, especially you all that are here today in this this age of technology. You guys are smart, all right. So McQueen's dedication to his craft led him to become one of the world's youngest restaurateurs at age 11. American chef Flynn McGarry first began hosting dinner tasting pop-ups out of his California home at 11 and a half, right? In the summer of 2019, he had reached out to Roger Wade, the 53-year-old CEO, Box Park, a London-based chain of food halls, over LinkedIn, sharing his aspirations to open a restaurant in the future. But then he said, why wait? And then he wanted to speak to my mom, and then it actually happened. And I was at Box Park selling meals, and it was really fun. In support of the young entrepreneur, Wade waived, the fee so that McQueen could host a week-long pop-up. Shout out to that man that helped him, right? So I just wanted to share with you what our youth can do. Encourage the youth. They are smart. They're smart. And I'm encouraging the people in my culture, the Black culture. Y'all are smart people. All right. We always were, even when we were in Africa. All right. Our youth, our people have always been creative and innovative, making up things from hair products. Madam C.J. Walker, she made up a lot of different hair products. Not only her, now shout out to the Black women that every time I turn around, y'all on Etsy and all the, I order from y'all. Y'all got some awesome products for hair, skin. I didn't get to do my skin product segment today with the butters. I'm gonna continue with the butters. I think the last time I shared with you the shea butter. Ooh, that shea butter is good. And our people make that stuff here and over in Africa. I share with you, I order mine and the person who gets it, they get it from Ghana, West Africa. And that stuff is awesome. It is so awesome. So I just wanted to come and encourage you, young people, to you can do it. Pray and ask God for the guidance. You know what I'm saying? Young people and people of my culture, come back to the love of the Lord. Come back to praying and asking God and coming together with, your family and whatnot, sitting down, writing out plans that are God-given, because each of us has a God-given talent in us. And all we have to do is explore that talent and make it for something positive. And usually when you're out to help people, with your gift and your calling, that blesses other people and God will bless you. Like this little boy said here, 12 years old. Okay, he got a restaurant. Why you can have a restaurant too? We all could. Listen, He done inspired me. I might come out and have my little oxtail restaurant, going on. Because as much as I love the Caribbean food, I have people from Montserrat, West Indies, and we come on now. He done inspired me. I feel like opening up a restaurant, making the West Indian food and stuff like that. I love that. So shout out to Omari. God bless you, young man, 12 years old. Lord have mercy. I'm so happy for him. So that's my portion of in the news. If you have any news things you want me to cover, because I'm gonna be doing that every week, where at the beginning of the show I'll be doing a lot of news and coverage and things like that before I go into the teaching that I have for the week. But you know what? Before I go, I'm gonna share something else with you, because I got 5 minutes to share. All right, I got 5 minutes to share, so I'm gonna share another butter with you, because y'all know I'm into my butters, right? Okay, I have here the lemon butter. Woo, Lord, this lemon butter is awesome, y'all. It's awesome. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of drippy, so I can't really show it to you, but you can see a little bit of it. You see it dripping here. I put some on this morning. This stuff is so good. It's good for you. I get this on Etsy from the Plant Guru. The Plant Guru sent me some butters. Them butters are good. I'll be ordering that stuff up, y'all. It's good to use this when you first get out of the shower, because it helps, when your pores are open like that. It really, let me read to you the benefits of lemon butter. Okay, so I'm gonna share that with y'all too, because I got a few more minutes before I go into the lesson. So I just want to continue my thing with the butters. So the lemon butter. Okay, lemon butter. It helps damage skin like scars. Like some of us, when we grew up, we had, like myself, I had chicken pox like twice. And I had these brown spots. And so it would help. It would help something like that. Because what I used at the time, I used cocoa butter. That had helped too. That's another butter that I use from time to time. That definitely, because I had like all these blotches all over my face, looking crazy, right? So that had helped me too, was the lemon butter. Okay, so lemon butter is good for that. Irritated skin, eczema, psoriasis, and that type of thing. One more thing I forgot. I'm gonna do business 101, but today y'all got the lemon butter. It smells good. Okay, so we're gonna go back to I'm sorry, y'all. I got excited. I get excited when I see y'all. All right, so we are going to go to the how to start an LLC in 7 steps. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to. Okay. Now, because everybody got something, right? And I know that they're trying to make us feel like, oh, these jobs are going to last forever. But let's be for real, y'all. This pandemic has showed us a lot. We all going to have to start doing our own thing. Okay. We're going to have to wean off of jobs, and we're going to go back to our God-given talents. Step 1, choose. The business 101 is called, how to start an LLC. And an LLC is just a private business. You don't have to use the incorporation and all of that. It's just basically a private, small business that you may want to do, instead of going right into having an incorporation. Incorporation probably is more for, so like I have a ministry, so that I had, I decided to incorporate, but you don't even have to really do that nowadays. You can do an LLC on that too. But you can do an LLC for your business. Like with me, I have my production company. So choose a name for your LLC. Make sure the name is, something that you're going to be, something that you're doing. With me, I do a lot of productions and events. So whether I'm having an event with financial services or something like that, and I'm having people come to teach on financial wealth building and stuff like that. So it would go along with productions and events, right? I'm a producer, so I produce things. I may produce a show like this one here I may produce another show. So it's called Balanced Life Productions and Events, right? So you need to come up with a name for your company. You're going to have to go online and search the existing business names, okay, and determine whether or not you know you can use that name before actually filling out your paperwork for the LLC. All right. So number two, you can also, if you want to reserve a name, that's optional, because you may see that the name that you selected is available. So just reserve it, so that you have more time to go back and think about it. Maybe you're sitting down with your wife, your husband, your children, whoever, and you're in that state valley of decision. At least when you go online and you see it, you can just reserve that name first, and then think about it. And if you come back and you decide that's not what you want, then you cancel it out, and you come up with a name that's best for you. Number three, choose a registered agent. Okay. A registered agent is a person who agrees, to deal with different things that could come to your company, such as lawsuits, subpoenas, and other things. So you may have somebody in your family that's a lawyer that can do that for you. They'll just stand in the gap just in case something comes up. If somebody tries to sue you for something, that type of thing. So also, it doesn't have to necessarily be a lawyer. Anybody that's over age 18 can handle your legalities for you. Okay. They could also be a member of your LLC. If somebody's on the LLC with you, they could be the one that will handle those legalities. Number four, prepare an LLC operating agreement. All right. It's the roadmap that describes how your LLC will be run. Okay. It specifies such things as the ownership interest, the voting rights of the members, how profits and losses will be allocated. So you need to make it clear so that people working along with you understand what your game plan is, right? How profits and losses will be allocated, meetings when they'll be held, how the business will be governed, the rights of the members. If one of them dies or leaves the business, what's going to happen? Who do you have shares in the business, that type of thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be filed with the state. Okay, it may not even be required in your state, but you have to check your state's laws. However, it's an important way for business owners to define their rights and responsibilities, and minimize disagreements. Number five, file your organizational paperwork with the state. All right. Each state has its own form and procedure for establishing an LLC. Your articles of organization. Go online and find out about your articles of organization for your state. Okay, the name and it's going to require you, when you filling that out, it has the name and address of the LLC, the length of its existence, the name and address of the registered agent, the purpose for which the LLC was formed. So you have to submit your articles of organization. That's what I did. Was I submitted that online, and then they approve it. As long as you ain't doing nothing crazy, don't please don't submit for craziness, right? Okay. It must be signed by the person who's forming the LLC, which would probably be yourself or whoever you're maybe doing this for. Okay. In most states, you file this with the Secretary of State. All right. Some states have a different department that handles these business filings. So find out in your state who handles your articles of incorporation. Go online, fill it out, send it in. Number 6, obtain a certificate from the state. That's what I did. After the LLC's formation documents are filed and approved, the state will issue you a certificate or other document that confirms that your LLC formally exists. Okay, once you receive the certificate, you can take care of your business matters like obtaining a tax ID number. You have to get a tax ID number for that, and a business license, and setting up a business bank account. Okay, you also don't necessarily have to have a business bank account. For LLC, you can use your own personal account if you want to, because if you're the only one on your LLC, you don't have anybody really working for you. For a while, you can use your business account. I mean, your personal banking or checking account. So don't let that stop you. Sometimes people are like, well, I don't have $12,000 to put in the bank. Okay, you may not. Whatever money you have in your regular bank account, you can use that to start off. But eventually, you need to get a bank account for your business account. Find a bank that is not going to charge you or say that you have to keep $12,000 in the bank at all times, or they're going to keep charging you for it. Okay, so some of these small banks are good. People's United, it's a good bank. There are different banks that you may use, especially starting out. After you start out, you want to branch out and go to some of these other big banks. You're welcome to do so, but that's something that you can do. You can use your own personal bank account. Step 7, register to do business in other states. That's optional. If your LLC does business in more than one state, you might need to register it. To do this, you'll need to fill out and submit paperwork that's similar to the paperwork you filled out when you formed your LLC. Okay, so, it depends, because some states, like, if, I don't know if you're selling products or things like that, they may require you to do so. But if not, like if you're just sitting at sometimes they have state fairs or, neighborhoods in Connecticut, which is right next door, they might have something where you can put up sometime I put up a tent so that they can see what I'm doing. They can see that I do television. Also, I make drinks and stuff like that, sorrel and, West Indian products and things like that. So, but if I'm at their, state fair or something like that, then people are not going to really bother me. Okay. So that's that portion of today's show. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, we are going to go into the Word of God, okay, for the last portion of this show. And the lesson for today is going to be, we're going to continue on with the Levitical priesthood. If you could put up the title, I don't know if you have the title that I have for today, the priestly garments of the Levitical priesthood. Yes, that's what we're going to be studying today. We already studied the different furnitures in the tabernacle. We went through most of them anyway. We're going to continue on this journey of the Levitical priesthood, because it's very important, especially in today's day and time, for you to understand who these people were, who they are, because soon they will be appearing again, and they are appearing, and this is very important. So we are going to go to the priestly garments of the Levitical priesthood on today. I'm just going to go to Deuteronomy. I was just coming up with the picture. All right. We're going to go to not Deuteronomy, sorry, Lord. Exodus chapter 28. Deuteronomy is a whole different thing, okay? So, Exodus, the 28th chapter. That's it. I guess the technicians were like, what? What's Deuteronomy? What's she talking about? Okay, so Now, we see where the children of Israel had left Egypt. They left the Egyptian slavery and bondage. Moses led them out and they went through the Red Sea. The Lord parted the Red Sea for them. They went through on dry shod on land, and they were walking through the wilderness. While they're walking through the wilderness, they're a little scared, so they're complaining a little bit and stuff like that. So the Lord, um, he supplies, of course, all their meals and stuff like that. But, they still kind of like people still complaining and things like that. But so the Lord has called Moses up into the mountain, and he's told him, give him the 10 commandments and all of that. But now he wants to set these people apart through Aaron. Aaron is going to be he's going to be the head of the Levitical priesthood. Now, the Levites come from the tribe of Levi. Okay, Levi was one of Jacob's sons. So Moses' family are Levites. They're from that line of Levi. They're descendants of Levi from the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So now when we go to Exodus 28, I'll be reading from the 28th chapter. So I'm not going to do a verse by verse because that's going to be too much for, to be putting all of that on, every couple of minutes. So Exodus, the 20th chapter, it says, and take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. So back then, that's how it's supposed to be. The families are supposed to be the families are supposed to know their business. Every family has a business on the face of this earth, whether you know it or not. The mother and father are supposed to come together and decide what gift or talent do we have in this family that we can raise our children up doing. Okay. Instead of everybody just for himself, no, we're supposed to have family businesses together. Okay. That we can, our descendants after us are supposed to be able to profit from it. And we're supposed to be able to be a blessing. And the children of Israel, we're God's people. We're the priests and the teachers and all of that kind of stuff. But we've gotten away from the ways of the Lord, right? So now the Lord is telling Moses that I want Aaron to be over the priesthood. This is supposed to be their job. This is what they do. Day and night, they're supposed to do the things of the priest, right? Now, if you could put up the picture of the Levitical, right? Now, this is how they dressed. This is what they had on. If you see the garment that they have on, the ephod, which is the apron, and the breastplate, and the clothing up underneath it, the robe that he has underneath it, and the blue robe that has the bells, and all of it, the head piece, which on it, I believe it said holiness unto the Lord. All of those things mean something. So I wanted you to get a picture of this is how basically the best that they could do with coming up with how they looked, how they dressed back in that time. This was what the Levitical, priest dressed like. And each of those things meant something. All right. So in the second verse, it says, and thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron, thy brother, for glory and for beauty. So these things are glorious to the Lord. That priesthood garment, all of those garments that the priests wore, they're God's glory. They represent the glory of God and beauty. So people can see, wow, the ways of the Lord are beautiful. Look how his priests dress. So yes, it does make a difference that we dress at least decently. We want to represent the Lord. And I'm not saying you got to be dressed up with suit tie all the time, but I mean, the fact that we care for ourselves, like I said, you put on the butters and, you know, you have your hair done, and you know, the women, we like our necklaces and our earrings. And well, with me, they tease me all the time at work. I'm always matching. I'm always matching. So, you know, one of the guys, he said, "Oh, Miss Jones, she always matches. She be wrapped up in all of her clothes when it's cold outside." But I guess he said, I guess she said, "At least I'm matching." You know? So, but you're representing somebody. You're representing the glory of God. You want to look your best at all times, even if you know, you may be dressed down, so to speak, but still, and even in your dress down, you know what I mean? Because I don't be decked out, but you know, I like to look nice because I represent not just myself. I represent the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I represent the Lord, you know. So you want to look good, right? Thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom. So it's important to, when you talking about the things of the Lord, or in general, when you're talking about things that need attention, business things and that type of thing. We're still in Exodus 28, that 28th chapter. You still want to talk to people that are wise hearted. They're filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him. Okay. That he may minister unto me in the priest's office. So it's important that you have these wise people come together to intricately make his garments. My grandmother used to do that. She used to make outfits for choirs and stuff like that. And you know, it got to be right. It got to look right, because you know, you represent the Lord when you dressed in these garments, right? And verse 4 says, "And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate and an ephod and a robe." Okay, put that picture up again, please, while I'm talking about this. The breastplate, you see the breastplate there. The ephod, which is with all of those, like, look like diamonds and stuff like that in the middle of his, I'm sorry, the ephod. The breastplate is the one with the stuff that looks like the jewelry, the diamonds. All right. And then the ephod is the apron part on the bottom there, you know, where his belt is, that apron. Okay. The robe, a broidered coat, that whole thing is broidered coat. Okay. Um, a mitre, which is the headpiece, right? And a girdle. So the white, underneath the white is a girdle, like when you wear the leggings. It's kind of like that, but it's made differently. All right. So he said, they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. And they shall make the ephod, which is the one with all of those diamonds and, you know, all those precious stones, of gold, of blue, of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen and cunning work. It shall have the two shoulder pieces you see on his shoulders there, joined at the two edges thereof. You can see where it's joined there. All right. And so it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same. That's the back piece of where those precious jewels are. According to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, of purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. Now, okay. And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones and grave on them the names of the children of Israel. 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names on the rest on the other stone. So on each shoulder, it has the names of the tribes of Israel. All right. So now, with the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, shalt thou engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be set in ouches of gold. These people had some precious stones. So as much as that, that's why I say, Lord, y'all can't listen to these people when they tell you that we come from nothing. No, we come from royalty, and we're still royal. Okay, we just got to come up out of the ashes. All right. Now, thou shalt put the two stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord upon his two shoulders. So imagine that God thinks so much of us that he puts the names of our tribes on the shoulders of our priests so that they bear the names of our tribes before the Lord daily when they pray. They bring us in to the presence of the Lord. All right. And 2 chains of pure gold at the ends of wreathen work shalt thou make them, and fasten the wreathen chains to the ouches, so they would fasten. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment, that's the one that was here, of cunning work after the work of the ephod. Thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of the fine twined linen shalt thou make it. So then he gives the dimension: 4 squares shall be, being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And you shall set in it settings of stones. So like you saw in the picture, there's settings of stones representing the 12 tribes. You see that 3 in each row, 3, 6, 9, 12, right? Or 4 going down, right? Thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall have sardius, topaz, carbuncle. That's the first row. The second row, an emerald, sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, ligure, agate, and amethyst. And the fourth row, beryl, onyx, and jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. And the stone shall be with the names of the children of Israel. So remember here, they were 6 on this side, 6 on this side. But on the breastplate, they had, each one had a stone. Each name of the tribe was set in a different stone. Thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of the wreath, excuse me, work of pure gold. And you shall make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends, like it's all tied in the picture like that I showed you. All right. And thou shalt put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate, the other 2 ends on as well. Thou shalt make 2 rings of gold and put them upon the 2 ends. Of course, the same thing. All right. So the breastplate is going to be bound by them, right? And Aaron will bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart. So he's bearing their names on his shoulders and on his heart when he goeth in into the holy place. Remember, we went into the different rooms of the wilderness tabernacle, the holy place. That's where the priests have communion. That's where they light the menorah. And that's where the altar of incense, where prayers go up, right? So when he goes into that holy place and he has the communion, he lights the candles so that they never go out, because the menorah is never supposed to go out. It's the light. You know, the Christ is the light of our lives. He's the light of the world. So the burning light of God is never supposed to go out. We're supposed to be burning for souls, burning that souls come to repentance and come to know the Lord. And then you have the table, the altar of incense, where our prayers are supposed to go up daily. We're supposed to be praying daily for everybody, for kings, for queens, for all who are in authority, that we may lead what? A quiet and a peaceable life, right? So we see that God has our names, that when he's praying for us too. Whoever the priest is that day and time. Now we pray for ourselves, but whoever, maybe your pastor or your family, the father, whoever's the head of the household, he's supposed to cover his house with prayer. The female, the wife of the house, she's supposed to cover her family in prayer. The children, you're supposed to cover your family in prayer every day. Okay, so you won't get away. It ain't no, oh, well, I got to go to the priest. No, you should have a prayer life. Okay, cover your family in prayer. All right, so Aaron will bear the names of the children of Israel, Okay. He's going to bear the name of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart when he goeth into the holy place for a memorial before the Lord continually. So he's to do this every day, supposed to do this all the time. This is their job, praying for the nations, praying for the people. That's what they're supposed to do. That's back in that day where they would, the people who are around the children of Israel made sure that these priests had a place to live, that they had food and stuff like that. They had money, because they were doing godly duties. They weren't pimping people out, and, messing around with women. They wasn't doing that stuff, right? So, or if they were, they didn't play with them. They put you out. They'd be like, okay, right? So it talks about how thou shalt put in the breastplate the judgment, the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be put upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart. So the Urim and the Thummim were like when he went in before the Lord. If the Lord would strike those beautiful, intricate, what do you call, gold pieces or different pieces, that topaz, whatever, gold jewelry, however the Lord struck it, he would let them know whether there's going to be judgment or what was going to happen, in the camp. Because the Lord back then, he talked to the priests to let them know what's going on, whether there's blessings or whether there's cursings coming because something that they're not doing, that's right. So, and thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all blue, which you saw it in the diagram. There shall be a hole in the top of it, which is for your head, to put it over your head. In the midst thereof, it shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of a habergeon, that it be not rent. And beneath upon the hem of it, thou shalt make pomegranates. That's the little bells that you saw that are around the robe of blue, purple. You see those little pomegranates at the end. They have blue, purple, scarlet, and also bells of gold between them round about. They were golden bells. And as long as those bells were shaking and they could hear you, you were alive. Because when you went into that holy of holy place, they would go in. The high priest, like Aaron, he was a high priest. He could go in once a year before the Lord for the sins of the people. And if you didn't come out, that meant you wasn't right. They would die. Back then, people would die going into the holy place and you're not right before the Lord, right? So it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, the bells, when he cometh out, that he die not, right? And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, engrave upon it like the engravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre. Upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. So that's the headpiece that's in the diagram, where you saw the hat of the high priest had a hat, and on it it had a sign that said holiness unto the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre. Upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things. So he was bearing the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Israel shall hallow, and all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. So your head got to be right? If his head is right, his mind is right, and he could be in touch with the Lord through prayer, right? So catch your head, catch your mind, catch your thoughts. I tell people that your thoughts form who you are and what you do. If you think in cuss words all day, you're a curse. If you think in bad things all day, you're going to do bad. If you think in negative things, you're going to be negative. But bring your thoughts under subjection. Bring them to the Lord. Lord, I have crazy thoughts and stuff like that, but I need to be in subjection to you. Okay, so I'm going to stop basically right there today because I'm almost out of time. And you know, I love sharing this with you. This is my favorite teaching, is the Levitical priesthood, because it brings us into mind of who we are. We are the children of Israel. All right, we were once thought to be, they had all these different names for us, but no, we are actually the children of Israel. We were the first Hebrews. And so we have to come back to the worship and the servitude of our God. Come out from among these people that are not doing right, you know, that are not serving the Lord, and come back to the God, and he will abundantly pardon. All right. So I want to tell you too, get your children out of these, get your children, get some homeschooling. Start homeschooling your kids, because the stuff that's going on with our kids is ridiculous. They're not being taught on grade level. They're being discriminated against and all of that. It's time to come back to your people. There are a lot of people that are getting together and forming schools amongst couples. And it's, you know, legal. You could do it in your home and stuff like that. And between the couples, they take turns. One day, this one teaches this, that one teaches that. Also, there are schools for our children. I think I shared with you, in my community, they have a school now for, you know, for children of color. So I was so glad to see that coming here. And even some of my friends are homeschooling their children. Don't subject your kids to that. It made me so sad to hear that this one woman, she had her child in the school, and I think her son was like one of the only black children. And the kids hated him, and they pretended like they was going to be his friend and made him drink urine. They invited him to a party and had him drinking urine at the party and doing all kind of things to this boy. Stop subjecting your children to that. These cultures are not better than you. If anything, from what you're seeing that they do to your children, they're worse. Okay, the fact that their kids would even do that tells you that they're being taught that. Stop putting your kids in danger with these other people. You know, they you coming with this oh yeah, well, they have everything. They have, listen, we have many communities now that are growing and thriving. That's what I'm going to start bringing to you too, is the black communities that are thriving. I got another listing from the Black Excellence list. There are a lot of communities that are thriving. Okay, black communities there. Yeah, we had the Black Wall Street, but now we got so many different Black Wall Streets, or whatever you want to call them. We have a lot of them in the different areas around the country. So start building in your communities. Okay, don't, you know, subject your children to this foolishness. All right, so I gotta go, y'all. Thank you for joining. Join me on Instagram, the Crystal Jones Show. Write me, the Crystal Jones Show Gmail. Check out my YouTube channel. Join it, share it. Go to my Facebook page and see all the uploads. All right, God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. You stay balanced.
Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits, fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword, MC